Hey everybody, I'm back. Sorry for the lack of content recently. I've kind of had some writer's block and have been pretty busy. Well, about a week ago, I posted this video for some Q&A. You guys left your questions in the comments and you guys gave me some great ones. It's time to read your guys' questions. Also, please know I was not able to get to everyone. If I did, this video would probably be an hour long and not all of you followed the rules. But I tried to get as many as I can. Our first question is, Godzilla vs. Gamera, who do you think would win? It depends on which version of Godzilla we're talking about. If we're talking about like original 1954 Showa, I think Gamera would win. If we're talking about Heisei or Monsterverse, I think Godzilla would win. But in the end, I would say Godzilla just overall. The next question is, what's the best kaiju toy you have? So best is a pretty loose term. I don't know if you're talking about favorite or best quality, but actually it's the same for both. My NECA King Kong 1933. Will Destroya make an appearance alone in the GXK sequel, or will it just be Giga, Megalon, and Destroya? I actually don't think it'll be any of them. From what I know, I feel like the next film is going to be more centered around Kong and Tsuko. As well as I don't believe Legendary or Warner Brothers owns the rights to use those characters in the film. Do you have the Heyman Collection, Giganotosaurus, Therizinosaurus, Delta, and Pyroraptor? Out of those, I only have the Giganotosaurus. Do you think Transformers vs. Godzilla should happen? Okay, hear me out. I feel like Godzilla would just absolutely destroy Transformers because he's like a billion times bigger, as well as I just don't know much about Transformers. And I would rather see Godzilla vs. Bagon, so no, I don't think that should be a thing. What's my favorite Godzilla design? I like the classic Showa Godzilla. Did Fearsome Godzilla evolve? I don't know, you tell me. What websites is the best to get figures if they... What? What was my first ever action figure? I actually don't know. This is my first ever dinosaur toy, but this is my first kaiju toy, and this was my first Jurassic toy. I don't think my first ever dinosaur toy counts as an action figure, so we'll just say my first ever action figure was that T-Rex. This person has a few questions. 1. What's your favorite version of Kong? I really like the King Kong vs. Godzilla Kong. Their next question is, what's my favorite kaiju / version of Godzilla? Either Gigan, Gorosaurus, or Space Godzilla. And like I just said, my favorite version of Godzilla is Showa. Their final question is, what's your favorite Godzilla movie? My favorite is Godzilla 2014, and aww. How many Mechagodzillas do you own? Unfortunately, only one right now. My favorite figure is my NECA King Kong 1933. My rarest figure is probably my Dino Rivals and Margosaurus. And finally, what's my biggest figure? That would probably be my Mosasaurus. You like the little hat? What's my most expensive figure? I just realized how expensive my Amargasaurus is. What got me into liking dinosaurs? Fun story, so my mom took me and my sister a long time ago, I must have been 3 or 4, to a little dinosaur animatronics museum, and that was my first ever introduction to dinosaurs. After that, for my birthday, my parents got me a little bin of little dinosaur toys, and ever since then, I've been hooked. When did I get into Godzilla? I remember one time, really briefly, for maybe 2 weeks at most, I was kind of liking Godzilla / Kong, Monsterverse, but then I got out of it. A few months later, I'd say about 6 months later, I watched a Goji Center video, because, it was on my homepage. Sometimes I'll watch something interesting that I don't really know much about, like Marvel, but after that, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I was interested, so I watched a Godzilla movie, and then I kept going and going. And then here I am today, so I have a lot to thank to Goji Center. Go check him out. What do I think of Godzilla -1, and do I have a Bandai figure of him? -1 was an amazing film. I really did like it. I like 2014 more just because Godzilla fought a monster. I feel like that was more enjoyable. Otherwise, it's just a creature walking around a city. Oh wait, no, that was a film. And no, I do not have his Bandai figure. It's just too expensive. And our final question is...
One eternity later.